Hey guys, Thetcglover here, kind of video today. Right, so I took it upon myself to jump on this artifact hype. Basically, a lot of YouTubers recently have taken it upon themselves to basically make a deck where they have a normal, conventional deck, and then they throw in artifacts, which is an archetype from Primal Origins. We're probably going to get a TCG exclusive because the deck needs a little bit more of a push, but people have been splashing it into other decks for fun. Artifacts revolve around back row. It's like different artifacts during history, and you set them. And when they get destroyed on your opponent's turn, you can special summon them, and they have effects. They're okay, but you generally want to mix them with other decks. So if it's very back row heavy, then you combine it with a deck which is very front row heavy. So Madolches, Mermels. So many decks that don't really use back row too much, so you don't clog. So I thought, like, how bad would it be if I decided to combine it with a deck which uses a lot of back row, just inherently because of its archetype design. So what I decided was to do Artifact Fire Fist, and I'm going to tell you now, they have absolutely zero synergy. I thought there was some kind of play, some kind of something to make them work, but now that I've tested the deck thoroughly, I've changed a few changed a few cards around as I'm going through the play testing. The deck will never ever be good. It's so bad. There's not enough room in the deck to actually get everything. I don't want to play over 40 cards. I'm trying to mix it all in and make it consistent, but there's probably a decent consistent build out there, but it's going to use a lot of techs. Artifacts and Fire Fist do not combine together whatsoever. You know, a bunch of level 5s that combine with a bunch of level 4s. There's no synergy at all. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. I think I won a couple of duels, but it was generally because Fire Fist put in a lot of work as a unit rather than combining with the artifacts. So there's nothing I could really do about that. Anyway, let's go to Artifacts versus Boojins. Right, so I just open up a mixture of any random cards, and so I summon Bear. I basically do a lot of just playing the Fire Fist games, so it's basically just a lot of Fire Fist. If I win, it's because of Fire Fist. So he MSTs my artifact, Caduceus, and if there's other artifacts being summoned, then you can draw cards. That's all it does, really. Tiger King gets some Tenki, and then Tenki goes off and gets myself another Wolfbuck, and I attack with all my stuff. So I'm against Boojins, so I'm feeling like I don't know what to do against this deck. I know Fire Fist and Boojins have a strange matchup, but it could go either way. Basically, as long as I have outs to it, then he cranes me. It's lovely. As long as you got outs to it, then Boojins aren't too bad. So he has Honest and Crane in hand, and Boojin Carnation is disgusting. So I Wolfbuck and make Kazakh Sushi, and I attack, and he cranes, and it doesn't die. And I forbidden lance his monster, and he Honests, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. So Kazakh Sushi just sits there, doesn't do much, but it does protect me from stuff like, shenanigans. So he Susanovas, I Vela. Quillin tries to destroy Kazakh Sushi, but I knew from what he searched, he didn't have any formidable back row. He had this card. I knew he had this card because he searched it, and I thought this could be anything. So the only way I was going to beat this card is if I attack it now. And he didn't have any cards in hand, so I knew he didn't have another Crane. So I pushed through for exactly 100. So 2500 plus 1600 is game. So that was one of the ones that I won. I played against a bad Infernity deck. Nothing much to say here, but I draw hands, the worst hands, and like I win because basically I get lucky. Nothing much else to say about that. For instance, they blind space, and I get myself three monsters essentially. So Gold Sarks and attacks with Dark Grepher. Completely depletes his hand, and I have Wolfbuck in hand, so I'm feeling quite good. This card here, Theosophy of the Artifacts, very good. You have to max it out if you're playing artifacts. So Tenki, and attack, and attack. So basically Tiger King puts in so much work. Wolfbuck is a fantastic card. Doesn't have anything to do with artifacts whatsoever. So Theosophy of the Artifacts on gets myself a Caduceus. I attack. I thought I was worried about a Mirror Force. So it's a trade in an Infernity Inferno, nothing scary. So I summon Durandal, which is a really nice Xyz monster. It turns any card they activate into a destroy one card you control thing. So you can negate anything. It basically makes it a Lagia, but better in some ways. Artifact versus Constellar. So once again, I open up 10 keys, which is always nice. Summon Bear, set everything, go. Everyone hates that. So by this point, he has no idea that I have artifacts in my deck. So he summons Bollocks, makes that card. I don't have enough stuff in my back row to deal with it, so I'd rather warning it. Fire Fist Bear, he Veilers both of my monsters, so I attack for 34. Overlay for Kazakh Sushi, send some stuff. Tenki gets Wolfbark. I'm pretty good to go here. Unfortunately, he tops into the one card that gets him out of the situation, so he goes into Palade again. Bounces my Kazakh Sushi back and attacks. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just messing around, you know. So Wolfbark, even though he should have Paladed the Wolfbark really, but he didn't. So he summons M7 and I Tenzin, so he kills his monster, and he ends his turn. I summon Bear, yeah, and do some more shenanigans. Obviously I don't have Cowboy in my extra deck, so there's not enough space for it. But I summon Kazakh Sushi, 3000 attack points, which is great. He summons Sombre, which is such a good card at this point. Algadi gets Cause bumps up. Summons Palades bounces Kazakh Sushi, attacks, and I Forbidden Lance for exactly 400 damage. So 100 damage more than I need, but what can you do? He ran straight into a Forbidden Lance and he had very little life points. He kind of asked for it. I played against a Raccoon deck, which was interesting because I got thoroughly battered, but there's nothing I could really do about it. The deck is incredibly good at the moment. You know, Obedience Scored is such a good card. I think my next video will definitely be on beasts and raccoons and stuff like that because the deck is very, very powerful. He attacks over with Leo, and I'm just like, oh, I can't get over that. It's too powerful. So I get Wolfbark, make Tiger King. He Fiendish Chains it. I'm like, oh no. Summons Pompoko, gets 10/10. Attacks, and I can't do anything. Yep, takes some damage. Nothing else I can do. So yeah, Dragon gets another Tenzin from my deck. So I filled up my back row completely, so if I draw the artifact I have in my hand, I can't use it with anything. Yeah, so Tenki gets activated, and Tantan gets himself a something. So Artifact Caduceus comes on the field, Wind Up Kitten bounces it back, he summons Sandalyu, which summons a 4100 token and attacks me exactly for game. So I got utterly raped in that one. Let's play against Chaos One, and I think this is going to be the last one I can show. Yep, so I opened up pretty decent. Obviously it's all spells and traps, but they're pretty decent cards. So I Polar Duality and get myself a Maxi, because you know, that's how it is. So he knew that I have Fire Fist now, so I Theosophy the artifacts and get myself more Couch, which destroys stuff. His hand is looking amazing. Look at that hand, it's disgusting. I haven't actually seen this replay yet, and I didn't realise how good his hand was, but he's pretty broken. I end my turn, there's nothing else I can really do. So he attacks, and I Artifact Movement, destroy Caduceus, which gets itself in defense mode. Obviously he's already attacked, so he can't activate Black Ship of Corn. So I draw for my turn, and my hand is just not good. There's nothing I can do. Black Ship of Corn, sends it to the grave, summons Card Trooper. I Malevolent, and get 2 monsters off. So I summon More Attack and Foul Knot, which destroys Black Ship of Corn and gets myself another artifact from the deck, or not deck, graveyard. So he gets some more stuff and summons Chaos Source, banishes. I knew by this point that he was just messing with me, because by the fact that he had 6 cards in hand, he had everything. You know, Light Swans with 6 cards in hand is disgusting. They always have every out. His hand was just absolutely unbelievable. So he summons Lumina and attacks. Malevolent again, trying to make some kind of play, but you know, nothing I can really do. So I was hoping that I would maxi into something good, but yeah, he's milled everything he needs, and he knew that he was going to beat me next turn, so he Necro Gardeners, and I have no way to stop it. So look at that, he's got Look at his hand. It's like the most disgusting hand in the game. Black Rose Dragon blows up everything. I can't stop it. I have no way, you know, how it is. And basically what he would have done here, I don't know why that was an error, but he ended up summoning JD, BLS, and attacking for exactly 6,000, even though he could have dropped the Dark Arm Dragon, Judgment Dragon, everything like that, and an Honest in hand. There was no way I was going to come back from that. So yeah, basically what I want to say from my playtesting of this deck is there's no need for you to see a deck list because it's such a mishmash of random cards. But the main thing is here is that do not try this at home. If you're going to play an artifact mash deck, combine it with a deck that is front row heavy. Don't make it share back row with other decks because you will just have a cloggy back row where you can't do anything. And make sure that the decks have synergy. Artifacts are light fairies, so combine them with agents. Agents are very front row heavy, so combine those two decks together. Maybe use artifacts with something like Herald, because Herald you can discard fairies, so artifacts nice in that way. You can just set loads of back row and stuff like that in OTK if you wanted to. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's nothing really much else to say. Do not ever play this deck. It's the worst ever thing I've ever played ever. And I hope to see you guys in a few days. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, the Thetcglover is out.